Did I make this up, or did it really happen that the Louvre like put up the Melodrama cover for like a day, and it was like down the back, but to the Louvre, or a fan put it up in the Louvre? Something happened with Melodrama
in the Louvre,
and I'll have to look it up to make sure I know about that. But
this was pre-pandemic. It's all a blur back then.
Truly, who remembers anything? Hi everybody, welcome back to Two Game Mats, and it's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And today we have another patron requested video from our friend we just saw on a Zoom chat.
On our Zoom chat.
Jacob Spies, he has a new mustache. Looks great.
Love that mustache.
It looks good. He has requested that we discuss and review Lorde's sophomore LP, Melodrama.
Well, he requested, but also like we wanted to talk about it anyway.
Of course we did.
Like we were considering like, do we podcast about it? Like what do we do about it? But Jacob Spies requested it for us, so it is up on the channel.
That is what we're doing today. And so this came out in what, 2017?
It came out June 16th, 2017.
Oh Lord. Oh, right before your birthday.
Right, like 3 days before my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Truly. My history with Lorde up until this point, when I first heard Royals back in 2013, I was blown away. Everyone was, changed the world. Truly, everyone is still trying to write songs as good as Royals to this day.
I will never forget driving in my car and catching the tail end of Royals. And it was literally like the last 15 seconds at most, and I just remember being like, what the fuck is that? I was like, who are these girls?
Yes.
Because I thought it was a girl group, and the radio people were like, that was Lorde singing, and I didn't even catch the name of the song, but I figured Lorde was the name of a girl group because there are many of her voice in there, and I figured they were a bunch of girls. And so then I forgot about it, and then literally like 2 months later, it popped up like on my YouTube, and I was like, that's it? Where are all the other girls?
That song was gigantic. It was a massive success. Like, she became a global superstar as a result. The album came out, but then she comes out with her sophomore LP, Melodrama, which was later nominated for Album of the Year. Weirdly, not for any other categories? Like, I remember those nominations coming out and being very confused as to like, why was this not nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album if it's up for Album of the Year?
The Grammys are weird, what can we say? We all know this.
But I'm excited to take another deep dive down into it. I've been listening to it in preparation for this, and every time I'm like, fuck, this is great. I
was talking to Matt Palmer about this like a week ago. Melodrama is one of those albums, the more you listen to it, the better it gets. Like, when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is excellent, I love this. But then as the years have gone on, every re-listen I do to it, it's just like, God damn it! From the melodies to the production to the lyrics to her vocal performance, everything about it.
So amazing, and I feel like this is really a Jack Antonoff sweet spot. This, I feel, was the zenith of what Lorde was doing, matched with the zenith of what Jack Antonoff was doing, and the results, 10 out of 10. It's truly fireworks from top to bottom. Should we jump into the album track by track? Well, I'm going to admit something that I've admitted about Adele. And 21, when I first heard Green Light, I was underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed, and still to this day, if I'm comparing it to Royals, it's not Royals. But like, what is Royals in quality? But it works so well where it is as like an album opener. I would still argue that I would pick something else as the first single.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Green Light is not my favorite song on the album.
Of course
but I think it was a smart choice for the first single. I loved it right away. I guess I'm just the Matt with taste.
I don't think that's right.
I love how you are just stuck in this heartbreak forever and you're waiting to move on. And you're waiting for that green light.
Yes.
And you're not getting it, so you can't move on, but you're still gonna dance.
Yes.
And the fact that Lorde, who was such a serious 16-year-old.
I know, right? However old she was at this point.
Such a serious child.
She was probably 20, right?
During this.
Yeah, during this.
Yes, during Royals, I think she was like 16, 17.
15, 16.
You would expect like the first new single off the new Lorde album after the first album to be like really serious and everything. And this song is serious, but it was dancey. It was great dance pop music, and it just had that touch of weirdness to it that was so Lorde, but that touch of pop that's so Jack Antonoff.
I did feel like it was very Robin-esque when I first heard it. It was like a Lorde's take on what Robin was doing, which of course I appreciated. And I think lyrically it's really cool and interesting. Musically it's great. Production-wise it's great. I think the melody could just be a little better.
Stop.
I do!
Stop. We are canceling this half of the screen.
That is not true.
Wrong. It also has the greatest lyric in a pop song of the past 5 years. She thinks you love the beach.
You're
such a damn liar. You liar. You hate the fucking beach.
I mean, and look at her now. All on the beach.
All on the beach.
And it's like, who's the liar now, Lorde?
No, I always knew okay. Now that we know that Lorde loves the beach,
she does.
I take it that the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend always hated the beach
and wouldn't go with her.
And wouldn't go with her.
But went with the new girl.
But now he goes with the new girl. What a damn liar. It then goes into those great whites, they have big teeth, and it's like, is she talking about the sharks on the beach? Is she like, I hope you get eaten by a shark at the fucking beach?
We're not in love no more. I mean, it has its moments. It's a good song. I just would prefer that track 2, Sober, were the first single.
Well,
that is an excellent, flaw-free, pushed forward music, like innovative, like catchy, gorgeous, introspective. This is the representative of the album.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Sober is better than Greenlight. I mean, Sober is better than everything.
Most songs.
I understand why Greenlight was the first, because it's a little more like easy to swallow as a pop song. You needed Greenlight to transition into Sober. That is my opinion. But let's just talk about Sober.
I think this might be the production peak of the album. Everything that is done production-wise, every choice that is made from the beginning, like,
She's singing something about midnight. You have no idea what it is, but
layers,
I feel it.
The melody, the chorus, the production, the beat, everything about this song works and is so out of the box and it feels so different and it feels like it's not really been replicated because this wasn't the huge song it should have been.
Oh, it should have been a massive, massive
gigantic
song. I love how you get those trumpets, but just for a second.
I know.
Oh, Jack Antonoff is such a fucking tease, and I love that. This song is brilliant, brilliant, top tier on the album.
Yes.
I remember when we first heard this song, our friend sent it to us and was like,
no,
this song's awful. And I was expecting a weird melodyless thing coming from Lorde, and I listened to it and I was like, Am I on drugs? Am I the crazy person? Because this is one of the best songs I've ever heard.
This friend has a blind spot with Jack Antonoff, and I guess this album is very Jack Antonoff-y, and so if that's not what you want, that's not what you're gonna get.
I just am obsessed with how euphoric it is, but how scary it is. We are having such a good time in this sort of fakishness of this relationship.
What would we do when we're sober?
What are we gonna do when we're sober? There's a lot of partying in this album.
I love this song so much. There's just, it's hard to even verbalize and say exactly what it is about the song. It's just so special. What would we do when we're sober? Brilliant! Brilliant! I love the song. There's a podcast where they break this song down and you can hear like the individual layers, the individual stems of the song.
I want to say I YouTubed sober stems.
Yes.
There's like animals growling and stuff like that.
And I think it went through so many iterations, and I sometimes feel like when songs do that you lose the magic. Like, I feel like there's a version of Babylon by Lady Gaga that everyone would have loved, but there's just so many iterations of it that we never found the right one, but they landed right on the right one.
Yeah. It's chaotic without being too chaotic.
Yes. I wouldn't change a note.
I could talk about
I know, we have to
forever. So I think Homemade Dynamite is the only song on the album that does not have Jack Antonoff credited. So I think he did not work on the song. And I read that she wrote this with Tovlo.
Oh, great! We love Tovlo.
Or one of those. Someone like Tovlo.
Okay. Well, I love Tovlo, but someone else like her. I hopefully like her as well. This song, I think, is one of the ones that has grown on me the most.
Oh, it's excellent.
It is excellent. I actually really like the remix with Khalid and SZA before they both became huge, which is like now the last track on the album. It feels so warm, and again, the production is so solid. There's so much lyric in it. Like, there's so much happening. Again, it's just the celebration of youth and the partying.
It feels like such a positive spin on love because the first two songs were very much like, the first song was the heartbreak, second song was very much the like, ooh, this relationship's in danger.
Right.
And this song feels like, no, we are young and we are in love.
Yes.
Like, and we're blowing shit up.
Yes.
With homemade dynamite. I love it.
Then we get to down the back.
But who cares?
But it gets to the Louvre.
The Louvre.
Brilliant.
So any song where the chorus is literally just broadcast the boom, 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 and make them all dance to it. Excellent.
I love every second of this
It's
song.
so weird. And the first time I listened to it, it took me a while to like get what was happening.
Right.
I was a little scared
Yes.
at first, and I had to like listen to it again. But
Yes.
just as the years have gone on, listening to it,
Yes.
brilliant. The punctuation.
Yes.
I
Overthink your
I overthink your
punctuation use. Not my fault. Just a thing that my mind do.
Like, how relatable,
I
because
know.
everyone has sat there like reading the text messages being like,
there was an exclamation point last week. There's no exclamation point now.
exactly.
What's happening?
I asked Matt Palmer, I was like, does this qualify as a mid-tempo? It's not a ballad, it's
Nope.
not an up-tempo, but
Yes.
it's not a mid, like I can't categorize this song.
Its own thing. And again, another kind of positive moment, romantic-wise, because you know her heart's beating. She's broadcasting it.
It's
Megaphone to her chest.
It's beautiful, and like
Yes.
this love is so beautiful that
It'll hang in the Louvre.
It's art, and it should hang in the Louvre.
Yes.
In the back.
In the back.
But
Next, we get to. And the thing is, we've talked so much about the brilliance of the production, but it's liability is the moment in which Lorde is like, but reminder, all of these songs could stand up with no production.
oh my God.
This song is so stunningly gorgeous. I would argue it's the heart of the album. It is like her insecurities laid bare. Everyone thinks I'm fun at first, but then I'm a liability and I'm like too much to handle. And so I go home into the arms of the only one I haven't screwed up, and it's her own.
And it's myself.
And it's her own arms.
And if you're looking from the outside, you'll just see one girl swaying alone, stroking the cheek.
Devastating.
Devastating, but like still warm. And it comes at the perfect time of the album
does.
because the first four are just such,
You need to take a breath.
and you need to take a breath. But it's still so melodic. Like this album was such a surprise to me because you would think like such a serious young songwriter with such a distinct point of view would be so anti such strong melodies.
Right.
But she's not. Like the melodies in all of these songs are so good
Right.
and so. I'm not even really gonna say hooky, but like, so again, so easy to swallow while still
Yes.
being so weird.
Yes,
You know?
and interesting and unique. Pop radio could play this if they felt like it, and this, I think, is because it's not easy to write a ballad that has not been written with just you and a piano, you know, and make it sound specific and make it sound interesting and still easy to swallow, and she checks off all the boxes.
And make it sound like it fits on this album.
Yes.
Still. Like a lot of times, like if I hear an album that's like really production heavy and then it gets to the piano ballad, that first like boom,
and you're just like, whoa!
it's like, oh, ow.
Exactly.
Like it really just like hits you, but this is just like, no, like this fits on the album.
I remember first hearing on SNL when she did it, and I was just like, bitch!
I know.
You better write. Gosh, next up!
This song is so funny because it's so, dare I say, melodramatic.
The lyrics that have meant the most to me on this album are on this song.
Yes, we know you love I take care of myself like
Yes, I care for myself the way I used to care about you. That is a lyric.
That is a lyric. I have a lyric that can top that for me.
Okay, on this song?
Yes, on this song.
Yes.
When you've outgrown a love.
Yes, I was just gonna say that one.
The whole world knows
but you. And it's like, well, we've all been in both of those places.
I know, exactly. I just love how it's so unapologetic and
Yes.
just like, these are
What they
hard
are
feelings of life. Like, we are gonna make this chorus so slow because this is how I feel.
Yes.
My feelings are hard. And then the song just like ends with just a minute and a half of just like young people in love are assholes to each other.
Exactly. But guess what? I like that. It makes me a little worried for Gen Z if that's really what's happening down there in the youth times. But It's a great song. So we love that. Sober to Melodrama.
It's so interesting because there are two like interludes on this album, I would say, but they're long interludes to the point where they're songs, but not really songs. But I love it. Yeah. It's great and it works, and I think it's the perfect, like, at a perfect point in this album.
Right. Rider in the Dark is my least favorite song on the album. This is melodramatic.
Well,
and
yes.
This is where I'm like, okay, she is doing a lot of like Lorde vocals here. The chorus, and it gets so high. She's like, and then it's just like, okay.
I love it.
It's too much.
Lorde, she sounds like a witch.
She does.
And that is how I want Lorde to always sound.
This is the hocus pocus moment of the album. And I'm just like, not there. I'm not there for hocus pocus or this song.
I am there for this song because it is so melodramatic. And as Lorde says in the previous song / interlude / whatever it is, we told you this was melodrama. So why are you getting mad that there's melodrama?
I mean, because when you get to Bet you rue the day. It's like, really, we're saying rue the day, girl. Like, it just is so much. And that's before the big ghost chorus. I just...
Bet you rue the day. And the piano's just like... Dun,
I know.
Dun.
So I'm just like, she lost me a little here.
I love it. I think it's fun. I love how it's just like, look, you date me, I'm gonna write a fucking song about you.
Which
you will be immortalized forever.
I appreciate it. I dated men that in our first several dates they've asked, "Are you gonna write a song about me?" And I said, "Maybe."
She's also just so unapologetic about this, and she's just like, "Yeah, it's gonna suck for you, but like, this is what I do,
and this is what you chose.
You shouldn't have kissed me.
Did.
You shouldn't have kissed me in the dark." Rue the day.
Okay. One emotion of mine to the next, because I feel like. If I don't say it on this channel, I'm saying it internally at every moment of the day. Supercut is one of the best songs ever. Just ever. If it's not already like the end song into the credits of a movie, I don't know what could be. I feel like, even though of course it's talking about a supercut, which is like a movie edit thing, it's also how we all remember our relationships. It's like the way you only are remembering the good parts cut together and not all of the shit, the bad moments that happened, you know, in between those good times that you've all put so much weight and stock in.
And all the good things you did.
Yes!
You're not looking at
because in my head, I did nothing wrong.
I did everything right. I forgave that fight. Because I echo all of these sentiments.
Brilliant.
It is Lorde's gay anthem.
It is. Like, this is the Robin song.
Yes, like you know how like every female artist has like their big hit that they'll always be remembered for in the ether of the grand scheme of the world, but they also have their gay anthem.
Yes.
This is Lorde's gay anthem.
Yes,
it's dancey, it's sad but euphoric. Just that a cappella moment where it's just her at the studio, just sounding all raw. And then she's like, ah! It's
so driving, it is so melodic, it is so emotional. It is just, for me, the peak of the album. And it just is, and I can't believe it's so late in the track listing, but it still feels right. Like by the time we get here, I'm like, it's like a breath of fresh air. Even though, of course, the album is brilliant.
Well, a breath of fresh air after bedroom.
I know. It is the Christmas that you earn after the Halloween of that song.
It's either this or Sober for me as the top.
That's true. They're definitely duking it out for my number one as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think Perfect Places.
Reliability Reprise.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely. I think Perfect Places suffers from not being the choice I would make for the second single.
Okay.
So when that came out, I was like, this is the one. And its placement right after Supercut. Like on its own, it's a good song. It's very melodic, it's very straightforward and singable. The chorus is hooky. When she just performed it recently on like Good Morning America or whatever, it was like lovely to hear from her.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like, on an album with so many classic songs, this is not the single.
Yeah. Either. Well, the thing is, this is the most poppy of the songs on this album. Because the thing is, like, Green Light is also very poppy as well, but Perfect Places
it's like very well structured.
Yes, and Green Light, there are parts where you're kind of just like, whoa, this is kind of crazy, which is why I prefer Green Light so much to Perfect Places. I would say, even though I have nothing bad to say about Perfect Places at all, I think that's why Perfect Places might be my least favorite song on the album. Because even though I listen to it more than I listen to Hard Feelings.
That's wrong, by the way.
Even though I listen to it more.
That's wrong. Hard Feelings is perfect.
I think Hard Feelings is just more interesting.
Yes.
And I'm more moved by Hard Feelings. And Hard Feelings feels more Lorde to me.
Yes, this feels like the poppiest Lorde gets. And it's not bad. You know, I love a big pop song. But if we're gonna go big pop song, put out Supercut.
Yeah.
You know, like it just, I don't get the single choice. It's good, but I've read people on some boards be like, this is her best song.
No.
This is the song that should have been a giant hit for her. And I'm like, I don't feel that. I think it's nice.
It's very good.
It's melodic.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
I really like that pre-chorus.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything about it works and is good.
Yes.
But like, Sober's right there.
What a perfect album. Like, it's truly one of the most iconic albums that just snuck up on us, I feel like.
And I have to say, an album that really knows, like, this is how long it should be.
Yes.
It is not a track too long.
No.
It is not a track too short.
No.
You get the perfect journey. It is a perfect length.
Yes.
I think the sequencing is really good.
I agree.
I love it. I love
Yes.
it. I love it. As I said, it gets better every single time I listen to it. And I'm just like, God damn,
I'm so thankful we have it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it just is so emblematic of a time in music and a time, you know, for me personally, I just think it's beautifully performed, beautifully executed, beautifully written.
And I was so sad that she didn't, because she didn't perform it on the Grammys the year it was nominated for Album of the Year, because they were like, oh, you're gonna have to like do a duet with someone. And she was like, well, no, all the other Album of the Year nominees get like their own solo spot. Why can't I? And they were like, well, you don't. And she was like, well, I'm not performing.
Oh. Justice for Melodrama. I feel like critically it got what it deserved, but commercially it did not. So if you haven't listened to it, take a listen today because you'll not be disappointed.
No.
There's no way.
Listen to it now all the way through beginning.
You must. Yeah. And thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for Jacob Spies for, you know, reaching out and requesting this because we are loving to talk about it with the people. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matt Palmer Music.
And it's Matt Steele.
And at 2GayMats for both of us. We have a Patreon, which is where this video came from. So go to patreon.com/2GayMats if you want to request a video of your own. We also have a podcast that comes out every Monday called 2GayMats TWO. You can find it in your favorite podcatcher. Some weeks it's Tuesday, so just depends. We're moving, things are happening.
Well, one of us is moving.
That's true. Someone's still here.
Someone will always be here. Someone will never leave you.
You're not always going to be here. But whatever.
I could die in this apartment and my bones will become part of the hardwood floor.
I don't anticipate that. But also, we want to give shout-outs out to special patrons named
Jaleesa.
Yes.
Garrett.
Yes.
Adam Parnell.
Yes.
Montana.
Yes. Thank you so much. We love you all, and we'll be back soon with more 2GayMats.
Bye.
Bye.